talk about a series of events. Why is my right eye blinking like that? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm currently getting 2 bags of fluids. Saline. Nothing crazy. Just heat exhaustion and dehydration. I should have listened to the signs, Lord, and that's on me. That's on me, Lord. You was telling me early too. And I was just like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to that. Why would I listen to that? Why would I listen to what you're telling me? And yeah. Oh my goodness. Some cramps, bro. It's crazy, bro. I'm probably about to stand back up, man. I'm gonna get with y'all, man. It is the 20th. I'm just now getting released from the hospital. Yeah, I guess you could say it's been eventful. I wouldn't necessarily say it's been an event I would like to attend again. I can tell you that. It's kind of crazy. But I'm about to head to the house. Gotta clean up. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get there. Alright, so first thing first, let me go in. I just about to the crib. Let me show you the bathroom. So I was vomiting. You see, it's all different motherfucking colors. It's going crazy. I was vomiting in the motherfucking tub, and just dying. Then in my room, I was laying right here on the floor. As I was just disappearing away. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you what's really crazy though. Let me show you something that's really crazy. This is the crazy part right here. Yes, that is exactly what you think it is. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I wanted to go ahead and do story time in the scrub so that I don't really forget. You know what? I gotta give me a straw. You know I gotta give me a straw. Give me a second. Oh. Ooh. Okay. First and foremost, I like to give honor and thanks to God for getting me through what just transpired. So this what happened. Well, you know what I'm saying? They were like, what happened was, and that's like, motherfucker about a lot, but I ain't lying. I'm telling you, this is true. Nothing but the truth. What they be saying? It's like nothing but the truth. I don't know the same. I'm forgetting it. But so this was going on. On the 17th, I went for a run that morning. Right? Went for a run that morning. Then went to work. Right? So then from work, I'm like, alright, normal day type thing. I'm gonna go to the gym. So go to the gym. Do my little workout. Nothing crazy, bro. It was nothing crazy. I promise you. I'm not even in no type of crazy shape. Nothing. I'm not in the shape I need to be in or want to be in. Right? So didn't do nothing crazy. So then I seen the basketball court deep. So I'm like, oh my, I'm gonna go get me some runs. Like, I ain't no hooping or like that, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get me a bucket or so. You heard me? So I hoop. First game, I started realizing like, oh, I'm getting mad tired, mad quick. Like, this kind of crazy. I'm checking my watch, heart going stupid. So I'm like, maybe it's like that because I ain't hooped in a minute. Because I'm like, okay, that whatever, typical. I ain't hooped. So then the second game come, I start getting lightheaded. I'm like, yo, I know I'm not going crazy like that because I'm not even going stupid on the court. Like yeah, I was shutting the dude down, like they main score or whatever. But like after I shut him down, like the first, like this is the second game. After I shut him down, like the first 2 times, he really wasn't trying me like that. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And trust me, I'm not saying that like I'm cold, but I will play defense for sure. I'm not ducking no smoke. I promise you that. Um, so then third game comes. At this point, I'm beyond fucking lightheaded, beyond lightheaded. So I'm like shit, blurry vision, whatever. But I'm thinking like, yo, I'm mad weak. Like I'm mad out of shape. Like I'm thinking like, yo, I'm beyond disappointed in myself. I'm not gonna hold you. So then third game in, we win that joint. Now, and that's the thing too. Now I ain't gonna hold you. My team, they was really like picking up the slack for sure. Cause it was sometimes I was airballing, like it was crazy. So we win that game too. One of the it was an OG on the team. He like, yo, you good? Cause I hooped with him before. He like, yo, you straight? I'm like, nah, bro. Some of y'all gonna have to sub me. Like y'all got to sub. I'm like crazy lightheaded. So I sit out. They win the next game. So I'm like, man, fuck it. I try to get back on, but I was like, nah, like y'all can have that game too. So I get back on after that game. They still on the court. They running the fucking gym. So now I'm low key excited because I'm like, well, I want to see if I can get them off the court. Shit, like fuck it, I'm gonna try to get me a little team. But I ended up getting picked up by a team, which I really don't really like, but it's like whatever. So we play them. I'm still kind of a little lightheaded, but I'm like, I getting my bearings back a little bit. But then I start cramping crazy. I'm talking about biceps cramping, forearms cramping, and my hands was cramping. My quads, calves, like my body is screaming, like, please sit the fuck down. Huh? Hey, what cuz say? You know what I mean? Powdered milk. You hear me? Like, sit the fuck down. So I'm like, whatever. So I sit down, I'm chilling. So then I go downstairs. I find out that they got a fucking fat ass fucking like hot tub. They got a crazy hot tub downstairs on the other side. I never really seen it, but I'm like, well, shit, I'm about to get in that bit. You know what I'm saying? Fat ass. Oh, jacuzzi. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say jacuzzi, but let's just go with hot tub. So, but before the hot tub, I go to the sauna. I put on my little scuba diving suit. It ain't out here right now. I think it's in the water. I put on my little suit. I go in the sauna, stretch, and do all my extra shit or whatever. So then I take that off. I was gassed. Really, I was gassed way earlier than this. But I'm thinking like, bro, just power through it. Like that's how you gonna get stronger. Like just push. Like don't be weak. Like don't be no bitch. You know what I'm saying? So push through. I'm in the hot tub now. Mind you, I'm cramping in the hot tub. I'm cramping here, my back. I'm like, yo, like I ain't know I was this weak. Fast forward, I'm coming home. I come home, I like rush in the crib. Immediately go straight to the bathroom. I'm throwing up, going crazy, bro. Throwing up, going crazy. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not at this moment. I'm like, yo, I didn't know I was this out of shape. Like this is crazy. So then go to the kitchen, try to get something to drink or whatever. You ain't even gonna believe this. Shitted on myself. Yes. You heard me right. Shit. Dookie. Boo boo. Juice. On the floor. You hear me? And so obviously I had to, throw them drawers away and shit like that. Like so it's just going crazy, and that's how the dookie on the floor or whatever. And I'm gonna show you a video when I was throwing up in the sink. I'm gonna put that in there. So now, I'm just talking to Chat GPT. I be talking to Chat like I'm Iron Man. You know what I mean? I'm just talking or whatever. We going back and forth and shit. And Chat was just like, look, if you're not gonna go to the hospital, then you need to call somebody. So I did, right? They didn't answer, but whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, I can't control somebody picking up their phone. You know what I mean? I can't do that. But so I'm like, let me call when you can call one of my sisters or something like that. I ain't want to call my mom because I know she would have got in, probably overreacted or some shit like that. She would have tried the instant transmission here if she could. So I ain't gonna do all of that because she gonna be over exaggerating. So I called one of my little sisters. Obviously they are all my little sisters because I'm the oldest of everybody. But I called my little sister Ozara. Ozara like, yo, you sound like shit. Like you sound like you about to pass out right now. I'm like, yo, I just was calling somebody, this was been going on. And from the time that I got home at 5, 6 o'clock to the time I decided to actually go to the hospital, my heart rate was at 105. I'm talking 105, probably 111. It was fluctuating between that the entire time. So I'm drenched, I'm sweating, it's just crazy, cold sweats type shit, because usually my heart rate is around about 50, resting heart rate, something like that. And now with it being double that, now that's when I was like, alright, if this shit don't go down within a certain amount of time, I'm like, alright, I might consider going to the hospital. Because anybody that know, it was a few years back, my whole lungs was collapsed. I ain't even go to the hospital then. I had to be persuaded and talked into yo, go to the hospital. You're crazy, right? Go to the hospital, right? So, I didn't even go to the hospital first. I went to the Circle K, went to the gas station. I'm thinking I'm gonna give me some Pedialyte, I'm gonna give me some Gatorade. Right? I got some salt. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this shit myself, DIY type shit. I'm gonna do this shit. Yeah, I did not do that. I did not do that shit at all. Did not do that shit at all. And what ended up happening was I came back to the crib probably around about 10, because I went to the Circle K, came back around 10. From 10 to 12, heart rate still going crazy. So from the time that I got to the house, 5 or 6, to before I even decided to go to the hospital, my heart rate still was stupid. And so that's when I was just like, okay, this can't be normal. I don't know what's going on. This shit's crazy. At first I thought it was just muscle cramps or just soreness or just, because I'm not gonna hold you. I sweat a lot. I sweat crazy. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm sweating right now. You hear me? I sweat. So, I'm thinking okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital. They're gonna be I'm gonna give you a muscle relaxer and then, something monitor you or whatever, and just you go on by my day type shit. That's what I'm thinking. That's not what happened. I get to the hospital, and as soon as I'm in the ER, so I get to the hospital, I'm in the ER. The doctor comes in, and he tells me yo, from what I'm looking at right here. Oh, well, technically the first thing that happened when they took my blood, the first little tube. Alright, so goddamn phone died. So let me make this long ass story a little bit shorter. Okay, so I'm in the ER. The first 2 tubes, they're coagulating. You don't know what that means? I apologize. Please look it up. Okay, let's continue on. So then they took some more. He comes back. He's like, yo, you know the difference between a grape and a raisin? I'm like, yeah. He like, alright, well, that's your kidneys. Wow. Wow. Okay, sir. You gonna break the news like that? I appreciate that, but I mean, god damn, you hear me? So, and he like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. He like, obviously, so he diagnosed it with acute rhabdomyolysis. You don't know what that is. Like I said, I apologize. Let's just continue on so that we can see what's, let's just take context clues, okay? So he diagnosed it as acute rhabdomyolysis, which goes into renal failure, which has something to do with your kidney functions. That is a correlation from the heat exhaustion dehydration and overexertion, as far as like from the overtraining, things of that nature. So in layman's terms, my body is pushing out more than what's inside it, right? Which is so crazy because everybody know I'll ride that motherfucking car on E. You heard me? So look, I was riding the car on E. Nigga, I was on E. It was ridiculous, and that E was not for extra fuel at all. So, like I said, long story short, they ended up pumping me about 7,000 to 8,000 milliliters. I say about because they ended up stopping it. I got discharged earlier than I was supposed to get discharged. So, like I said, so they ended up pumping me about 7,000 to 8,000 milliliters of saline, which obviously we know is sodium chloride. Outside of that, the hospital themselves was smooth hospital. The service was alright. Nobody was like, I didn't get no pissy attitudes and nothing like that. Besides maybe like one person, but I ain't gonna speak on that fucking experience, whatever. I'm gonna let the train go by because that train be mad loud. So, obviously after the fluids and everything was pumped inside, you know, my vitals was good, blood pressure good, heart rate straight, my levels is good, I'm checking the my chart, everything is going in the right direction to where it's supposed to be going for me to get discharged. So, you know, I just like to say, you know, I thank God, really, because somebody else could have been telling this story. And it could have been something completely different, but instead, by the grace of God, I'm able to tell the story, laugh about it, give a little humor with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know I downplay, I joke about a lot of stuff. You know, for those that know, I've been through some crap, and after the fact, I just try to laugh about it. I try to come up with a joke. You know what I mean? But regardless, man, that is the experience that I had. That's the story time of how I almost died. Yeah, I almost died from would I die from the renal failure or would I die from the acute rhabdomyolysis? I have no idea, but that's neither here nor there. Till next time, because I don't want there to be a next time. That'd be crazy. Come on, because you know, hey, you got me, Lord, covenant. You heard me? You got me covered now. So it won't be the next time. Obviously, I'm going to make sure I stay hydrated, stretch. Got to put emphasis on that. You got to put emphasis on it because people don't be stretching, myself included. That's why I got to repeat it like that so I can be talking to myself. You know what I mean? So the next few days is going to be really just recovery, easy, you know, walking, stretching, maybe some calisthenics. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. But, I do want to say, though, one video I had said I have 41 subscribers. I lied. I actually have 45. That's 4 more than I thought I had. So, you know what I mean? Like, come on, I ain't going to think about 46. I'm going to just think about me having 45, and that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I could have 0, could have 1, 2, 3. You get the picture. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, outside of that, it was a scary experience because I've never cramped like that ever before in my life. I've never had my body shut down like that ever before in my life. I was cramping from my neck all the way down to my toes. It was ridiculous. I mean, I do not wish that on nobody, for real. So stay hydrated. Do not play with that whatsoever. Even if you training yourself, you training kids, you training a group, make sure everybody is properly hydrated. Because people have died from dehydration and heat exhaustion and stuff like that. So I know it's nothing to play with whatsoever, and it's nothing to joke about whatsoever. And that's why, like I said, I just like to thank God and I give him the honor and thanks that I'm still here to this day, because it could have been the other way, you know. But outside of that, you know, Just blessings. You know what I mean? Blessings. And you know, God grant me the strength to control the things that I can't control. And hey, if you know the rest of the serenity prayer, that too, I gotta learn it. I gotta learn it every day, one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? I can't know everything. But y'all be easy, man. Until next time, as far as my video, not as far as what just happened, because that could have been a tragedy. You heard me. But y'all take care, and as always, be easy.